I'm making this video as more of a statement to myself. This video is for me. To put all my thoughts together and just work things out in my own way. Because one of the ways I've always gotten through trauma and hardships in my life, especially in these last years, is to just focus on work, to make videos. It's the only joy that I really have. So, you all saw the post. You all have seen. You've seen what I've said in the last 24, how many hours? I don't know. I'm just gonna give you a full rundown of just everything that happened. Maybe I'm oversharing. This will be used against me to mock me or whatever. Well, like I said, I'm saying all this just to clear my head. Just because if I say it, it's done. It's over. Like, I'm able to just process everything at least a little bit better. So,
you know, I've always found it
Good morning, Owasso. This is the Twins with Owasso Live, and this is the Morning Loop. This is a little bit of a different show today. You know, Friday I saw a post from this kid. This is actually a kid that I follow. His name is Chibi Reviews, and he reviews anime series. Now, again, I don't watch anime a whole heck of a lot. I do watch occasionally on one because, again, American cinema is dead. Like, I mean, there's nothing good out. They don't produce anything worth watching anymore. You know, I mean, the Avengers haven't put out anything good since Infinity War. Mm-hmm. You know, Star Wars is dead. I mean, there's no. Again, Anaconda was a sleeper movie for us, I guess.
Yeah, but that was literally, I would say that was more like post getting out of the house after all the New Year,
holiday,
all the holiday stuff. So
I mean,
it wasn't the best movie in the world. It was something that you went out and we went.
It was
out
something
with a bunch of
it was
friends.
unexpectedly decent,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But it's not something you're gonna be like, I'm gonna watch it a million times.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so occasionally, you know, I'll queue up some anime because there's better storytelling in anime now, which is a sad reality of life. You know, it's like, again, Japan is taking over the entertainment industry, and it's with their anime. You know, it's a sad truth.
Mm-hmm.
And occasionally, if I'm interested in watching an anime, I'll go to somebody like this guy, this Chibi Reviews fella. Now, the reason we're talking about this guy is you can see he's kind of having a breakdown. And we want to talk about this because it kind of talks about parasocial relationships and the nature of online friendships. And again, one thing that when he was talking about inside of his thing is, what is he doing? He wants to focus on work. Mm-hmm. At no point did I ever hear him focus on one thing that he needs to be focusing on. He needs to be focusing on God. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like if his life was more Christ-centered, I guarantee you the things that happened to this man would not have happened to this man.
Yeah, which this is why we feel this is important, because this is how kids nowadays are growing up. Kids nowadays are growing up in these parasocial relationships with their smartphones, with the internet, with their computers. They're not really going out nearly as much anymore.
True. And then the other thing, too, is like this guy has a pretty successful YouTube career. Yeah. I mean, this guy lives solely off of his YouTube money.
Just shy of 500,000 subscribers. And I mean, just shy. I mean, yeah. So I'm just going to say he has 500,000 subscribers.
So, again, he's making a good living off of what he does. And people come to him like myself to like, it's like, oh, did he review this show? I'm going to check it out and see if the show is worth my time in watching. Mm-hmm. And again, so he got into a relationship with a girl who probably saw his YouTube success, probably followed him because he had a YouTube following. Mm-hmm. You know, some of this stuff is speculatory, and the same goes for like friends groups. So, again, he's kind of falling apart because he made a tweet and he goes, "I've lost everything, and no one wants to be involved in my life anymore." So, what he describes in this little video of his is the Tilder version. Is his fiancée left him for a guy that he gave money to
Yeah,
to keep a roof over his head.
Considers his best friend
and brother.
Mm-hmm.
A guy he considers his best friend and brother, who he helped him pay his bills when he was at his lowest in life. He was like, I'll lend you some money so you can keep a roof over your head. You can keep your family fed. It's going to be great. Like, no, don't worry about it. So again, this kid did what he thought was right. And then again, you look at him, he's not an alpha giga Chad type,
Mm-hmm.
So he's a dude that literally sits at home, watches anime, and reviews anime for a living. I mean, he's not exactly a hot commodity, but at the same time, he's successful enough to warrant, probably a pretty good sized paycheck from YouTube at the end of every month. So his wife, or not his wife, his fiancée. It was his fiancée.
Yeah.
Hooked up with his buddy that he was basically, best friends with, that helped him pay his bills so he could have a roof. And how does he repay him? By banging his fiancée.
Mm-hmm.
And then he went to go to his friend group to be like, hey, guys, this is something that happened. I don't know what to do. And his friend group that he plays online games with basically go, we prefer your buddy over you. I mean, talk about devastating, man. Devastating. Like being like, hey guys, I'm confiding in you right now that, somebody that I trust a whole lot betrayed my trust, and my fiance betrayed my trust. And you're like, well, we'd rather hang out with them than you. I mean, again, this goes to show you, it's like whenever people have breakups. You don't get to keep both kids in the divorce. You don't get to keep both friends in the divorce.
Mm-hmm.
Again, so if we could speak directly to Chibi, it's like I've seen this happen play out multiple times. Watched my brother go through a divorce, and the upside for Chibi is he wasn't married to the girl.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is what's great. I mean, you dodged a bullet here, dude.
Imagine if you were married, how much worse it would be. And two, imagine
She'd get half
if you
your
had
crap.
Yeah, imagine if she had your children.
Yeah.
If you had children with this woman, how bad it would be. Because I can assure you that from our experiences that we've seen, like, nothing is worse than a split home for children. And two, also nothing worse than if you think that breaking up with a fiance is bad, which I have no doubt it's bad. We've all had bad breakups.
Yeah.
But I mean, getting a divorce is going backwards.
Yeah.
Splitting off from a fiance is like, we've traveled this far together, but we're making our way back apart. Like, you did not lose, you lost some time, but that's about it.
Yeah,
like
again,
I said, getting a divorce is literally going backwards.
Again, another plus. It's like, imagine if you had kids with this girl. You wouldn't even know if they were your kids.
Yeah, 100%. You'd be like, DNA test right now.
Yeah. So, again, it's a good thing, but it goes to show you the parasocial nature of the friendships that you actually had. How deep of roots of your friendship, of your alleged friends you had, Again, I've witnessed some great things in my time. And I've witnessed some horrible and some great things. It's like, again, we had a particular scenario where we had a friend who, again, they were all in they were a friend group, and then all their friends were dating all friends of their friends. Like, so all the girlfriends became friends, and then all of a sudden, one of the girls in the group was like, I don't want to date so-and-so anymore, so we're breaking up. So she broke up with him, and then guess what happens? They stop hanging out with somebody stops getting hung out with.
Mm-hmm.
And what does that happen? So they basically, so eventually he's
like,
still going to these hang out with this friend group, and what's happening? It's wearing and tearing on his mental health, because it's like, I did nothing wrong in this relationship. She left me for no really good reason.
Yeah.
And so you keep going to these scenarios, and finally he got too drunk one night, and he called her out on her BS and said, you left me. I didn't do anything wrong. I don't know what your problem is. So what happened? All the females in that group were like, how dare he call her out like that in public? How dare he do that to her? So every single girl that was, and again, they're all married to these guys now. They go, you're not friends with this person anymore. And, so me and Chad didn't know that this had taken place. So we were like, what the heck happened with this friend group? Because like we would go to like these get-togethers and stuff with this group of friends, and we'd be like, where's our buddy? Like, I'm like, we'd always go to these hangouts. Like, we're missing somebody. Where is so-and-so?
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, And everybody was real cagey about it. They never say exactly why he didn't show up to places anymore.
The only reason we even found out is because there was one person that was like us. We weren't ever like officially like
in the group.
In this group, we were always like
the outside fun people.
Exactly. We were like the outside like fun guys that would occasionally get invited to stuff. And then there was another guy that was like that was in this group, and he pulled us aside and he goes, "Yeah, this is the story of what happened." And we were like, "Oh." And then it makes sense because like if you really, I said this is why like everyone always thinks that guys like are controlling and abusive in a relationship. Like
women are.
Yeah, it's like literally all the girls like you will not hang out with this person anymore. And there was only one guy in this friend group who it's the one that we would say that we're still really good friends with to this day.
Yeah,
that is still friends with him. He's like he even broke up with a girl. It's like, you will not hang out with him. He's like, oh, I'm still hanging out with him.
Yeah, he was the only guy that had a backbone for his buddy. He was like going, look, just because he did something while he was drunk, and he didn't get physically abusive or anything, he just called her out for breaking up with him for no good reason when he was drunk one day. He was like going, I did nothing to you, and you ended a perfectly good relationship for no real reason other than the fact that you just wanted to be selfish and move on. Yeah. And so again, all the girls got together and like going, he's no longer invited to any of our social outings. And literally, like I remember sitting there and like we were talking to this one buddy who was finally like going, yeah, no, I'm still friends with this guy. Yeah. And like his wife looked at him and goes, no, you're not.
Yeah, but this is
and he was like, no, I am. Yeah. I am friends with him, and I'm never not going to be friends with him. And she was like, no, you're not going to be friends with him anymore. And he was like, and he got really mad with his wife. It wasn't his wife, it was his girlfriend or something, like long time girlfriend. He was like, no, you're not going to tell me I can't be friends with someone. He's still my friend. Like I was like, wow. Like I was sitting there, like the only person in this room who has the gall and the balls to stand up to his girlfriend, fiance, whatever. It's like going, he's still my friend. You're not going to dictate who I'm friends with.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, that's a friend right there. Like, and I was like, that's why I'm still friends with that guy to this day. Everyone else, I still like them, but at the same time, it's like I don't have the same respect for them that I did.
Once had.
It's like I watched all of you basically bow and kowtow to your wives.
At a person that you've known longer than you've known any of these girls that you're talking to. You've known this person longer, and at his lowest moment, you abandon him. And you just side with your girlfriends going, oh yes ma'am, we won't hang out with him anymore, he's a bad boy.
Yeah. And again, that's what parallels this Chibi Reviews guy. Again, this poor dude paid for his buddy's housing, paid for his family to be fed, have food, and then he repays him by banging his fiance. And then she runs off with him. I mean, again, you dodged a bullet, bro. And then he goes to his friends group to confide in them going, guys, this hurts. It's like my fiance left me for my buddy who I considered my brother, who I helped him pay his bills so he would be able to have a roof over his head. And like, well, be honest with you, we prefer hanging out with him than you. Like that. Ugh.
But this is like what I call like the Hollywood mentality. Is like people really aren't friends with you. This is what everyone will talk about in Hollywood. Why everyone's so fake. Like people don't care about you in Hollywood.
They're just waiting for their turn to talk.
Yeah, no, they're literally there to try to use you. They're using you as a stepping stone for their own career. That is what Hollywood is, and that's literally kind of like what becoming a YouTuber and podcaster is. It's like you're an orbiter of somebody who's famous or partially famous or whatever, has a bunch of viewers or subscribers that you're trying to get to. And then once you've that's literally how Hassan Piker and Vaush got started, because they were destiny orbiters.
Yeah, so,
and now they hate each other and they abandon each other. At the drop of a hat, those people abandon each other.
Left-wing people can't have true friends because, again, the minute you step out of the line, you step out of whatever the particular thought of the week is, it's over for you. You're done. So, again, this guy, he needs to focus on Christ. Like I said, your next relationship needs to be Christ-focused. I don't know if this kid's an atheist. I don't know if this kid is, was religious or not. I don't know where he stands religiously, but he needs to, instead of focusing on work, focus on work too. Work gives you purpose. Don't get me wrong. All good works produce fruit. But he also needs to focus on Christ. Again, if your relationship is based on Christian principles and Christian foundation, your fiance is a good Christian woman, you're not going to have this type of thing happen.
Yeah.
She's going to be like, she's going to look at the potential, the potentiality for cheating, and she's going to be like, I'm going to be judged for this one day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to answer before God and be like, I made a vow to this guy, but chose to hook up with this dude. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to stand and feel that shame in front of my Lord one day.
Yeah. And that's another reason is like, now I remember kind of what I was gonna touch on is regarding like relationships. This is another strange thing. Is like relationships are weird because guys are very like, it's like what we talked about with our buddy. Like he did nothing wrong in the relationship, but relationships are one of the only few things where girls can literally, this is what they talk about on that whatever podcast, get the ick. You know, it can happen at any point. Like you could be in love with somebody at the beginning of a relationship, then all of a sudden halfway through you're like, ugh, he's boring now. I have the ick.
Yeah.
And there's nothing like, that's why guys hate it, because there's nothing that I did wrong that you can justifiably say other than I got bored of you.
I fell out of love.
Mm-hmm.
Again, there's no good reason. I mean, the guy that we know, the guy that we're describing to you, our good friend, he was a Southern gentleman, true and true.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, whenever he didn't just court this girl, before he even asked her to date, he called her father. He goes, I've been kind of hanging out with your daughter. I would like to ask your permission to date her. So the dad was like, yeah, this is the first time anyone's ever asked to date my daughter, but yeah, sure, you can date my daughter. I mean, he did all these things, jumped through all these hoops because he felt like it was he was obligated to do these things as a gentleman. And again, it's just like, it's one of those things where it's like someone can be too perfect. They can be too good natured for a female's own good. You know what I mean? I don't know how to describe it, but again, and then girls get the ick. It's like going, he's not a bad boy. He's not exciting or adventurous. You know, it's just, you're just like, what do you want? You want him to go home and beat the crap out of you one night and be like, that'll spice things up, you know? Mm-hmm. So again, it just goes to show you female nature is not always good. You know, it's like, again, that women are just, it's like, again, the Me Too movement happened and all these women came out. And it's like, oh, they're all innocent baby angel Aladdins. Women can do no wrong. It's like, women can just be just as evil, vindictive, or manipulative as a man can be.
If you've watched the whatever podcast, you have seen like what female nature is at its core.
Female arrogance, female selfishness. You know, the female nature is not always magnanimous.
Yeah.
Can it be? I mean, they're wired to be mothers and be very generous, which is why most of them lean left and why most of them lean towards, socialist policies, because they're like, bring some for everybody, you know?
Yeah.
But,
sure.
It's crazy. But again, this guy dodged a bullet. Chibi, find Christ, man. Like, I mean, I guarantee you, if your next relationship that you meet a girl, which you probably will because you're a successful YouTuber, there's going to be plenty of girls who are going to be like, oh, he's broken, I can fix him, I can help him, you know? But make sure that they're not just using you, that they're not just like, oh, he's going to be able to provide me a night, he's got a big house, and I'm going to be okay.
Yes, the issue is what we talk about is like these are parasocial relationships. They're probably girls that are fans because they want a part of the fame and fortune, not because they like him for him. The moment that, again, you want somebody that's going to be a ride or die type person. Like, oh, if this YouTube career just disappears all of a sudden, like say all my subscribers unsubscribe or YouTube nukes my channel.
Yeah.
Are you still going to be there with me? You want the type of girl that's like that. So this is the issue. Is like, this is why orbiters are not good people. It's like they're only with you until they become more popular than you. That's it.
Again, a friend is not an ally. Is not a friend. They're an ally. It's like, I'm with you until a better deal comes along.
And Vaush, Hassan Piker, and Destiny are all great examples of this. Is like, because the moment that any of those guys have an issue or like a thing comes up or someone accuses them of something, they're the first ones to throw them under the bus.
I can't believe they would do such a thing. I believe the accusatory party, even if they're well-known liars.
So another great example of this is Ethan Klein with Hassan Piker.
Yeah.
It's like he thought that Hassan Piker was his friend, and Hassan Piker never stood up for him once. When his audience would attack him, he was, my audience is going to do what my audience is going to do. Like, but you can tell them to stop attacking me and my family. He's like, oh, I'm good. I'm good on that. I'm not going to tell my audience what to think and do.
Yeah, your pro-Israel stance, I'm not going to tell my audience they can't be angry with you because your wife's Israeli, which makes you a bad person by proxy.
Mm-hmm.
Again, so this is the type of people that you court in the YouTube sphere. You know, it's, again, you have to make sure your roots grow deep. You know, it's like the mustard seeds parable in the Bible. You know, it's like the roots grow, you know, one withered and dried up. The other ones didn't, you know, even take. There is always truth in biblical wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
And Chibi, he can bounce back from this. He will bounce back from this. But like I said, if he wants to have a good, true, and tried relationship, he needs to turn to Christ, man. And I guarantee you, if you follow the wisdom of the Bible, you will have a better result in your life. You won't have to worry about this type of thing happening again. It's going to be hard. I mean, go to church. Find a group of people that have good communal and shared values with Christian faith. You will do better in life.
100%.
And like I said, keep your little hobby. Keep reviewing anime. You know, like, yeah, obviously you're doing pretty well, especially if you could not only support yourself, but you could support your best friend who started hooking up with your wife or fiance.
Yeah.
So you're doing well enough to help other people, which is a Christian ethic.
Which, again, like, it's not going to bode well. If he can barely afford himself and his family now, you can only imagine what that guy would be like, you know, 10 years later from now. Like, when that girl's like, oh, we're almost homeless. I'm leaving you.
Yeah. What happens when he can't pay his bills? Is she going to still be hooking up with the guy that can't pay his bills and she doesn't have Chibi to bail him out anymore?
Yeah, well, Chibi will never bail that dude out ever again now.
Yeah. So anyway, what we can pull up his little update so we can so he has updated. You know, there were people came to his aid. There were other YouTubers who like saw what happened, who saw his post and were like, "Oh, this isn't good." And they it was like a random YouTube guy called a wellness check on him, and he was standing by a lake ready to end his life. You know, I mean, again, it's never worth it. You know, it's like, especially not over some girl that didn't actually love you. You know,
exactly. I have the update video right here if you're ready.
Yeah, go for it.
This video in advance to just make sure everybody is on the same page, and also what steps I want to be taking for the upcoming days. First off, as you can see, I am alive, I'm still here, and I'm taking every day one step at a time to basically piece everything back together and obtain my main objective at this point. And that main objective is happiness, to be able to obtain happiness and joy in every.
Happiness and joy should not be your objective. Following responsibility and your faith in Christ should be your pursuit.
Because happiness is fleeting.
Happiness is fleeting. You're gonna have a day where you're good. I feel great all day, and then one day, a random thought or memory will spur, and your ex-fiance is gonna pop in your head, and you're not gonna be okay. Don't just chase happiness, man. You need to have your life rooted in some foundational philosophy that's gonna keep you going. And again, that's why you got to turn to Christianity, man. You got to look for Jesus.
Yeah.
That will keep you going. Again, if my wife dies tomorrow, can I keep going? Like, Jesus will keep me going, man. God will keep me going. My faith will keep me going. If you're chasing happiness, again, that's just a fleeting feeling. It's going to disappear. Sorry, you can keep going.
No, that's good.
Everything like that, and fight for a really wholesome future. That is the objective and long-term goal that I have envisioned right now. Now, to be able to achieve that, obviously, there's a lot of steps that I need to take, and a lot of days, and a lot of things I'm going to have to get through to be able to do that. But for starters, for these next few days, I'm going to be spending time with my loved ones, and I'm going to be just, talking with them about everything. I'm going to be talking with them about, seeking out therapy. I'm going to be, going to the gym as well.
Church.
That is my 100% objective.
Therapy is not the best. You pay somebody for you to tell them your problems. You can do the same thing with a beer and one of your buddies.
Yes, a real buddy, a real friend. Your dad could probably give you better counseling than a therapist could. You know who could give you some good counseling and therapist? A priest. A preacher. A pastor. A spiritual leader. Somebody affiliated with the church, man. They'll give you some Bible passage, and they'll show you exactly, don't trust a woman's word. for they're like honey, but they're filled with lies, you know. Again, that's what you need to go to. Read the Bible, man. It will help you build. I mean, the Bible has all the answers, man. The Bible is the cheat code to a good life. It doesn't guarantee you a happy life. It guarantees you a good life. And good could look very different in the eyes of the Lord.
Yeah. You will suffer. The only thing in life that's guaranteed is suffering.
Yep.
Active is to go to the gym pretty much every single day if I can do it.
That's good. Working out is a good way to...
That's better than therapy.
Yeah. Better than therapy. And 2, working out makes you look better, feel better. You know, it's good. It's good all around. Working out is always a positive.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's like those workout videos where it's like you see how bad did she hurt you, and then like you see like a guy before, and then you see him after, and he's just like absolutely yoked.
Yeah. How bad did she hurt you?
This bad.
And then on top of that as well, my other objectives is to be able to get back on my horse and just make content every single day like I always have done about anime, manga, censorship, news, or anything that I really am interested in at that given moment. But for right now, what I'm doing, and the reason why this video, I'm just making it very brief, is that I am still here, and I have read everybody's comments. I have seen what you have said, and I plan to respond to as many as I possibly can in the upcoming days. But for now, I'm just going to take a little bit of a break for a few days.
Good.
And I will be back, get back up on that horse, and I will start making content once again. But I want to say, guys, for everyone out there, I do thank you. This is a shout out to all of you out there that has been very supportive.
All right, we can stop. So again, this is one of those things where it's just a disagreement in philosophy, man. Don't share things about your personal life. Your details. That's a bad phrase, right? But you know, don't share details about your personal life, man. Like, I mean, it's in his case, it's a good thing that it was done because if he hadn't have made the tweet and the post, he probably would have offed himself. You know, so sometimes sharing is a good thing. But, you know, if he had, again, some foundation in Christ built up, I think this would have been less of a problem. And again, I don't know. This kid could be a devout Christian for all I know. But I feel like he wouldn't have been thinking about the things he would have been thinking of if he had been if his faith had been rooted more deeply, you know. So again, Chibi, the things that he talked about, I didn't hear anything about going to church. I didn't hear anything about, you know, following Christ or Jesus and anything like that in there. That's what you need to go to. And I know that for those who aren't believers, that is, again, it's like I was watching that clip of you know, from Wolverine talking to what's his name, Nightcrawler in the old cartoon series. You know, it's like going, don't give me that cop out answer. Jesus or God is the answer. It's like, but he is, man. He can give you peace. You know, it's like, blessed are those who mourn, for I shall give you comfort. You know, so just remember that, you know, like God is that comfort. You know, you don't need to go to a counselor. You don't need to go to therapy because you can pray and talk to God and be like, these are my problems and I don't know what to do, but I trust that whatever I'm going through, you can help me get through it, Lord, or help me find a way.
Yeah. Now, the only other thing that I'll say about this is about this situation is like maybe the only benefit of the doubt we can give to the girl and the friend is that maybe he is one of those insufferable, you know, YouTubers that does have quite the personality of, you know, I'm famous now, because this isn't the first time something like this has happened. Like it says here, YouTuber Chibi Reviews is an abuser and cheater according to his ex-girlfriend. So I just have this video pulled up, this guy reviewing, talking about the situation, but it just sounds like it was a really toxic relationship from both sides, from what it sounds like. But again, that's the only thing that we can obviously point out about the allegation. But this is, like I said, this is another video from like over a year ago or about a year ago. So it seems like that there was trouble in paradise already. So no telling. But again, like this is what I always say. There's always like hits on both sides, but this literally sounds like a whole orbiter, you know, fan issue that, these people are in parasocial relationships with fans and, again, orbiters that are trying to become famous and use him to become famous.
Yeah.
And again, this is what we talk about. Like, these are the people. These people aren't your friends. Your fans are not your friends. I mean, there's a whole reason. I mean, I was literally, and we're probably going to do like our Throwback Thursday thing about Michael Jackson. Like, literally, it's the same. And it talks about that. They talk about this with Elvis too. Was like, nobody who knew who Michael Jackson and Elvis were treated them like people. They treated them like they were celebrities. They treated them like they were above them, like they were gods.
Yeah.
And that's why Michael Jackson supposedly liked hanging around kids, because kids had no clue who he was. Like, here's this nice guy that likes to hang out with us.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because kids didn't treat him like...
Yes, there's no expectation with kids. They're just there for a good time.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And then we find out that it's possible that, he was literally trying to save as many kids as he could by coming to Neverland, so that way they didn't go to Epstein's Island. And, like, that's scary stuff that we're finding out. I was like, Michael Jackson was literally seemed to be like a saint that was trying to protect these kids from Jeffrey Epstein.
Mm-hmm. Again, Michael Jackson didn't strike me as, again, if you look at Michael Jackson, he didn't strike you as like the predator type. He struck you as the type of guy who was trying to relive his childhood because he never had one.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That's why he existed in this childlike state. That's why he had childlike mannerisms. Because he was denied his own childhood.
Yes, correct.
And again, the other thing too, it's like Macaulay Culkin and all these others. Like, why didn't he molest Macaulay Culkin? Why didn't he molest Aaron Carter? Like, predators look at all the kids that they want like prey. Macaulay Culkin should have been prey. Aaron Carter should have been prey. It's like, no, Michael Jackson realized it. Goes, no, we're kindred spirits. Because I recognize what your parents did to you. Like, Macaulay Culkin's dad was horrible to him.
Yeah.
And Michael Jackson could tell. He was like going, we're kindred spirits, you and I. It's like, I know what you're going through, Macaulay. So anyway, off topic. I know this was might not be what you expect it to be. I know we're a more news-oriented channel, but something about this one spoke to me. And I was like, when I was watching these videos about this guy, I was like going, I'm not hearing what I need to be hearing, and if he truly wants his life to get truly better, and again, going to the gym, hanging around your close friends and family, people who actually love you and care about you, those are good steps. But he's missing the biggest one. And I felt called to say, hey, if you turn to Christ, man, your life is going to get infinitely better. Infinitely. So again, no matter what you've done, no sin is too big or too small. Christ took it all, paid it all on the cross for you. So follow God and, don't worry about this and grow from here. I mean, you dodged a bullet with this one. So sorry if this wasn't your cup of tea, folks, for who are watching. But again, I felt called to kind of make a video about this and say, hey, man, you're all of your videos I watched, you're missing one big thing, man. And I think if you follow that one thing, your life will get so much better.
Yeah. And again, but this is what we talk about, why this is relevant to you, the viewer watching, is like, this is what's happening with your kids, your grandkids. They're watching these people. They all are watching this stuff and getting
whether it be on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube.
Yeah.
This is how, again, I get my news off YouTube. Most of you watching this get your news off of YouTube. I don't watch CNN. I barely watch Fox. My parents watch Newsmax. And when I literally, like, I'll go out to see my dad, and he'll be watching Newsmax, and I'll look at him like, Dad, we talked about this exact thing on the show today. If you'd watched our show, you'd be 12 hours ahead of the news cycle. And he'd be like, really? And I'd be like, yeah. So anyway, again, sorry if this was not your cup of tea, but I felt called to make this show because, again, when somebody's hurting, and there is a way to make your life better, and that's to be a follower of Christ. And this kid, I mean, again, I feel for this kid. I mean, that hurts, man. Finding out everybody in your friend group
Is not your
chose the
friend.
people who'd wronged you over you.
Mhm.
That is awful. I couldn't imagine realizing that no one that I thought cared about me actually cared about me.
I mean, if everything is true about what he said, Jimmy, like there is a biblical parable there. I mean, it's
Mhm.
literally like Jordan Peterson talked about it with the parable of Jesus. Like, first off, you didn't do anything wrong, and you go to court, you go to trial, and you get punished for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then all your friends abandon you,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't come to your aid, and your best, the one that you considered like your best and most
Denied he ever
worthy,
knew you.
denied you 3 times.
Yeah.
Says, I don't know this man. I do not know this man.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, you have the choice of, hey, I'm going to set free. I can set free this guy here that I can find no fault with, or I can set free this guy who's a known killer, a known murderer. Who would you rather have free? And then the people choose to free the murderer over the innocent man.
Yeah.
And again, like that's why I said there's a parable here in relation to this. Is like,
Yeah.
this is why you have to choose your friends carefully. It's better to have a few good friends of good quality than to have multiple friends of zero quality.
You are living a biblical parable. Your life is a biblical parable. And the more and more closely you follow Christ and try to live in his plan, within his rules, within his nature, the better your life will be. Doesn't mean you're going to have an easy life. Doesn't mean you're going to have a perfect life. But the more closely you follow the narrative of the Bible, your life's going to be better. And if you fall out of it, things are going to get rough. Again, but I mean, and again, everybody's walk is different. We are the new apostles. We are. I mean, I'm not saying that you personally are. I'm saying we are the next group of apostles, of people who are supposed to go out and evangelize and try to bring more people into the fold.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you never know at what point somebody needs to be brought into the fold. But you know, how much do you have to hate someone to try to not share the gospel with them? You know, I mean, again, as much as we dislike the Islamic faith and the Muslims and all the people coming into our country, like, it's our job to at least tell them of the story of Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Because how much do we have to hate the person next to us to not tell them about Christ's love for us?
Mm-hmm.
So again, that's why I wanted to make this show, because this right here speaks to a problem that we all face at some point in our lives: betrayal. You know, the loss of we all been with someone we thought we loved and they betrayed our trust and chose someone else. It hurts. It hurts. So again, I felt called to make this show, and hopefully if he sees it, you know, it's like, hey man, you are missing out on the one thing I never heard you say. I need to go to church. I need to find Christ. And again, I don't care what church you go to. Go to a Catholic church. Go to an evangelical church. Go to an Orthodox church.
Go to a Baptist church.
Go to a Baptist church. Just go somewhere where they're preaching the love and grace of Jesus Christ, man, because that will get you through some tough times, I promise. I promise you. So anyway, that's about all I've got for you today. This is the Twins with the Owasso Live. This was the Morning Loop. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you too can stay in the loop. That is all we've got for you today. God bless you.
See you later, everybody.